It's why the-
Oh, I didn't know it was
6 hours
Jason.
flight
Yeah.
to-
Okay, perfect. See, I can eat during the presentation. I have a plan.
It's less miles than last year.
Yeah.
Is that the,
Put that
did you get both of them, Jeremy?
Like traveling,
This year.
Well, I'm missing something for you, thinking about the time today.
Do you?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think you're actually probably way busier than I am. I have a sit at a desk job. I'm at 3,000 for today.
Hi, Robert.
And I,
Hi,
like
Lori.
I said, I've been up since 3 AM, so I've been up for 15 hours, and I've only managed 3,000 steps.
yeah.
Jill and I just had practice.
I bet. I bet. I have a really, it's hard working at my desk. Like when I was in Florida last week, at least when I'm in an office, it's 200 steps to the bathroom and back, right? So you can get up, you go to the lunchroom, but it's like 12 steps to my bathroom and, you know, my kitchen.
If you only.
Another day, I was looking for 2 days ago, right nuts.
I know, right?
Cause you
I
would find people, you know,
She's super competitive. so I think
10,000 steps in a day. And that was nice, because when I was in Florida, it was like these whiny people with 62 degrees. I'm outside with no jacket.
Yeah.
yeah, I got a message. 64 degrees, no, sorry, negative 34 degrees back there.
Oh, wow.
They posted tonight, isn't it?
You know.
You should be happy to know that your refrigerator is 80 degrees warmer than you are.
Got anything with it?
I'll shut down.
So are we gonna give him any more time?
That's a place up there.
I think we should. Go ahead, Darla should be back in a second.
Yeah, she was just out.
Oh, there she is. She's right there. Okay, we did this first. So we can go talk about that. Oh, maybe we'll table that if Mark's not here.
Well. That's our one.
Okay.
It gets the same.
No, you're good.
You missed her.
Hey, Chris.
I left it on your chair.
All right.
Oh.
Shall we begin?
Oh, I'm sorry. you were-
No, you're fine. No, no, I was hoping Mark would pop on because we put his agenda
Oh.
item on, right? So
Yeah.
I was hoping so. All right, roll call. Jeremy, Mark. No, Kim, yes. Lori,
Here,
Darla,
here,
Laura Lee.
yes.
All right, we are all here. All right, Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Every time we do that, I miss Peggy not stopping.
Yeah.
Okay, any adjustments to the agenda? Did you guys get? I think we're good.
Does anybody want to? Here, got it. Okay. Yeah, really. I have old fingers, they're working. Yeah. Well, hi, Chris. An agenda for you.
Cold and cold, right? It's a horrible combination. All right, so did everyone get a chance to look at the minutes from last meeting? Are you sure you wrote this? It seems awfully short. Oh, that's right, we had a short meeting, didn't we? All right,
I move, we accept the minutes.
all right. We,
I'll second.
and Darla is seconding, all in favor?
I.
Aye. All opposed? Nobody. All right, it passed. Laura Lee, here is your copy back. So we don't have any, we don't lose it in case, just in case. All right,
One, you asked if there were changes. I was just
Yes.
talking with Mark, maybe we should move.
yeah, I think we'll table 30.2 with Mark on. Yeah, yeah. Okay, so first item, unfinished business. Jason, that would be you.
Yes, so
Welcome.
that's Jason Shallett with Reimer Construction, Reimer.
Yeah, Ramor.
Remore, okay. Didn't say it right either way. And, Jason, I mean, I'll let him, give a little bio here. I've got his two different, proposals, but
Oh.
he's been in the pool industry for decades.
Go ahead.
So, anyways, I was really excited when I got his name and so anyways, I had him come out and look at our pool several months ago and talked over some of our, glaring issues that we need to address at some point in the somewhat near future. And so anyways, yeah, I'm really excited. And, so Jason, if you want to take it from there,
Yeah.
can we move that chair maybe?
Are we doing both or just really focusing on one?
What?
One's the design.
Well, they're kind of the, I mean, you can't really talk about one without
Okay.
the other.
So it's both,
So-
but just all in one conversation. Okay,
Yes.
I just wanted to make sure.
Well, thank you for having me. I actually prepared a PowerPoint just to brief slides, but I go through it kind of verbally. We don't have anywhere to put that.
Could you email it to Laura Lee so she could send it to us?
Yeah, sure can. Yeah, you guys can get an idea. It's just really brief, because I didn't want to take too much time. So, to talk about what, Laura Lee and I discussed, options for the pool. Remore is my company. I run it with my business partner, Krista. I've been in the swimming pool industry for 28 years now, building commercial swimming pools. Remore started as primarily a design consultant business. We still do a lot of that. And we've gotten back into doing construction, or I have. I've worked for larger swimming pool companies over the years and kind of decided I didn't want to do construction and wanted to be a design consultant, and did that for a couple of years. I guess for punishment, because we're building pools. So we're primarily design build, but we do strictly do design and we do strictly do build. I've over the years, I've done different projects here and there at the pool. And then Laura asked me to come by to take a look and see what we could do with what's existing. I know that at one point we were talking about a big expansion project a few years ago, several years ago, actually, probably 6 even, to expand the pool. I don't think that that's really gone anywhere. So the question was, what can we do now with the pool? What options are there? And from what I can see, there's a few things that we can do to upgrade the pool. And I'll start first with the pool gutter. So that's the perimeter overflow gutter around the pool. It pulls water and contaminants off the top of the pool, and water's, I'm sure everybody knows exactly how it works, but contaminants are pulled off the top of the pool and recirculated through the pool filtration and treatment system. 95% of the water typically overflows the gutter, because that's where most of the contaminants are that we want to get out of water or filter or treat. With the condition of the gutter, we're proposing, or one of the proposals was to put a new gutter on the pool, and an updated gutter. And with that, it would give us the opportunity to bring the pool gutter up to deck level, which is a lot better if you're in the competition swimming. You'll know that perimeter overflow gutters that are at deck level are a lot better for anti-wave. It's a lot smoother water. We can get very accurate with the length of the pool by going to a stainless gutter, because it really drives everything. And it's really just a much better system for recirculation. The other big benefit to it is it's easy to upgrade the piping system of the pool when going to a stainless steel gutter. As most of you probably know, the piping in the pool is aging, it's iron. It's getting close to being due for replacement. Going to a stainless gutter allows very short piping runs to come from the pool equipment room straight to the pool gutter. So we're talking about approximately 10 feet of piping for the gutter suction side side and the return side, because the perimeter overflow gutter actually returns water. The stainless gutters actually return water into the pool. So it takes kind of two birds with one stone. With going to that system. It's also really the most inexpensive way to replace a gutter. And the most inexpensive way to pipe the pool as well. The next thing that we talked about is, in order to do any gutter replacement, whether it be concrete or stainless steel, there has to be some decking done. In our construction budget, we accounted for about 3 feet of decking, because that's absolutely what's necessary to replace a pool gutter and to bring the piping in and out of the pool. And when looking out there at the pool deck, you know, there's a lot of work to be done. So I would advise, if the budget's there for it and the time is there for it, to either replace the whole pool deck, if and when the pool is under construction, or to replace the area needed to do the gutter and the piping, and then do an overlay over the rest of the deck, depending on what the budget is. Of course, the next thing is the aesthetic portion, and that is replacing the interior finish of the pool. So new tile, new plaster. It's pretty simple. You know, replace the ley lines, replace the markers as needed, and then replaster the pool with a new plaster finish. As the finish out there is starting to age out. And then the last thing that I wanted to discuss is, while the pool is under construction, it lends the opportunity to do some different features within the pool for programming. Like if you want to do, you know, we have that whole open area, that L portion of the pool that's on the south side, I believe. That portion could be used for swim lessons, and I'm sure it probably is now. But it could be better utilized if we do some layout things like staying out of the swim lane, maybe put some benches in and things like that to make things more comfortable for kids to learn how to swim. Throughout the years, I've done a lot of study. I've worked on councils in the industry, national councils doing studies on swimming, learning how to swim, drowning prevention. And I know that having some different features to make kids comfortable with swimming gets them in the water, gets them swimming sooner, and can be, you know, built into this if we're doing any type of pool renovation, well, fairly easy. So that's,
Could I ask? I'm sorry.
oh yeah, that's the whole thing. in a
Or I'll
nutshell.
forget.
Open for questions.
What kind of features? What, I'm trying to put my brain on
So
something.
different depths. So like a learning bench, you know, maybe that's 2 feet deep, for example.
Yes.
You know, that you gotta keep it, you want to try to keep as many swim lanes as possible, right? So you have your main lane running the length of the pool. The pool used to have lanes, right, running this way before the worm pool was created. In looking at the drawings, we still can have some swim lanes crossing the main lanes of the pool for, you know, a shorter course for swim lessons, for, you know, just practice, things like that. But then outside of that, you could have an area that's maybe just 2 feet deep, like a swim bench, if you will. That where you're bringing kids in and they're coming in at different levels throughout the water, you know, without floaties and without things like that on, to just gain comfort, you know. My 5-year-old just learned how to swim, you know, or he's learned over the last couple of years, and it's really helped putting him in the water where, you know, over the years, and with my daughter, putting them in at different levels where they feel comfortable. And you don't have
Yes.
that fear of the water being too deep, because it gets in the way of, you know, lesson. You know,
So permanent
yeah.
structure. And then-
We can do permanent or not permanent.
Also, I want to mention that part of this proposal too is to mitigate the cast iron with the main drain.
Yes.
And changing out the main drain to 2 unblockable drains, which is actually the
Yes.
code right now.
Yes.
So,
Yeah, sorry, I missed that on the gutter portion of it.
Yeah.
With the gutter would come 2 main drains, and we can do that in 2 different ways. There's a simple method of doing it where we put those sumps in the wall. And we don't have to do a major construction operation by cutting into the pool floor. Because like I said, previously, 95% of the water that you want to be filtered and treated goes over the gutter. So the main drain really does nothing for recirculation, in a pool of this type. What it really does is it allows for this, there's a surge tank on this pool, it allows that tank to modulate. So say 100 people jump in to the pool, or say 200 people jump into the pool. And the surge tank, all the water in this type of pool goes to a separate tank. Because there's nowhere for the water to go because we have a gutter, so that water level in that tank comes up. And it usually goes out of overflow when you put a lot of people in the water. So all of those people get out at the same time, it's time to close, everybody get out. That water level drops, there's a valve in that tank that opens up the main drains and allows water to flow into the tank so the pump doesn't run dry. That is really the only job of that main drain in the bottom of the pool, other than draining the pool, which happens,
Yeah.
every,
Not, yeah,
know,
maybe once a year.
yeah, once a year. So, you can drain the pool by using a pump. And then save a lot of cost on construction by putting unblockable sumps in the wall. Or we can go, all the way down, back down to the bottom of the pool, if it's inconvenient enough to drain the pool with a pump and put main drains in the bottom of the pool. You can go either way. It's a $50,000 call it savings, that's just armchairing it to put the main drains in versus going down to the bottom.
Well, and right now, like having a single main drain, of course, they didn't know this back in the 60s, but it's a huge liability. And to me, like, I don't have a crystal ball, but the main drain issue, we're one day away from being in Osborne. Literally, like that thing could decide to blow tonight. And then we've got mud geysering up through the bottom of the pool and we're shut down for who knows how long. A year or two. Literally, we're like Osborne in that same situation when this thing finally goes. So, and it's going to be more cost savings and beneficial to try and do it before we have that happen.
So the two proposals, so the first proposal was leave the main drain alone and keep it all.
No, replace, the main drain goes away, the single main drain goes away
Yeah.
regardless. The piping gets replaced regardless, should be. One option is to put the main drains in the wall.
Right.
of the pool. The other option is to put the main drains back.
Okay, got it.
The industry is starting to not call them main drains because they're not. The term main drain came from before we had recirculations, where we would fill pools with fresh water
Yeah.
for a week, and then we would drain it. And then we fill it up and we drain it again. That's where the term main drains came from. It's actually a submerged suction outlet is what it's called now. Then there's not necessarily to have them down at the bottom. Because the pool can easily be drained at the bottom.
So in both proposals, the drain in the bottom of the pool would be remediated and the piping would be replaced.
Repaired, yeah, replaced. What this will do is, it allows us to reuse most of the pool vessel. But essentially you end up with a new pool. From the equipment room out to the pool is 100% new. Piping's new, gutters new. The return inlet system is new, main drains are new, plaster finish is up to date, tiles up to date. And the pool is ready for, another many years of service before it needs work.
In these two documents, this one is design and this one is execution, correct?
Yeah, the first one is design. It's a hard bid for design. So, I gathered all the costs, the price for engineering, permitting, everything needed to, turn out a set of stamped drawings. And then the second document is just a budget. It's budgetary at this point, but it gives you an idea of what we're looking at to do this base code.
One of the things that I've been really trying to get, if possible, is we're under a pretty tight budget. And I wanted to see if there's some way we can break up the projects. Even if the pool looks like it's under construction in some areas, unpainted areas, something like that, for a year or two. Is there any way that we can mitigate the worst problems for a significantly for a much smaller price tag? I know overall it'll cost more, but it'll allow us to fit into the budget on a year-over-year basis.
The gutter and the piping need to go hand in hand. Those two need to be done at the same time. They really should be. There's really no way to replace the pool gutter with a stainless gutter and effectively reuse the pipe. So those two things should happen simultaneously. As far as the interior finishes go, you could do patch and repair. And then replace the tile and plaster in the pool later down the road. So yeah, you could break it up into, say, 2 projects.
How long is downtime? And maybe even compared to what you just discussed about.
I would say downtime, if you did everything, you'd be looking at about 2.5 months.
Wow.
If you left out the interior finishes, you would be looking, you'd save a month. Approximately 3 weeks to a month.
Okay.
And from a price perspective, if we were to do the 2 projects, is it roughly half the cost or is it way one way or the other?
The gutter and the piping would be more, it's a lot more work. Than the interior finishes, top of my head, I would say. The pool finishes portion of it would be somewhere around 200.
Maybe 25%.
Yeah. Say about 25-30%, leaving those out.
And if
And
we,
you would really be adding, you wouldn't be adding a lot of costs coming back. You would have some cost in doing patch and repair work. When you do the gutter and the piping on the interior finish, not a lot, maybe 10,000-ish, somewhere in the neighborhood. So that would really be all you're out, other than a second downtime. You'd be out about $10,000 to do it 2 different times, and then that's not accounting for inflation and price changing, things like that.
the second downtime would be about the same.
No, you're fine. When you said the piping and the gutters, does that inherently include the deck at the same time, the 3 feet that you need, because you said they have to go at the same time?
Yes,
So the 75% would be the deck, the gutters, and
the
the
deck gutters,
pipe.
piping drains.
Okay,
Exactly.
And for clarification, what are we talking about for piping? Is that the 2 lower drains as well, or is that just the 1 10-foot section from the?
That's everything. We would have one pipe that came around the pool on the south side to the deep end of the pool. And that's where, if I were to put 2 drains in the wall, it would be on that south deep end wall. And we would route that pipe in that same area where we took the concrete off of the gutter back into the pool surge tank. And the other 2 pipes that we need are the gutter, gravity line coming from the gutter and the return line coming back into the other portion of the gutter. Both of those are straight shot into the pool room, pool surge tank.
so do you go around the cast iron pipe and leave it alone and just put it in the new piping?
Yeah, we
So we
abandoned,
just
they abandoned
abandon
the
it?
place.
Okay, so we
Yeah,
have
if we
to
went
dig
in
out.
and cut and dug all of that out and raised the
Right.
price of the project $20,000.
Okay.
So it's best just to leave it in place.
So leaving it's an option, which is good. Oh, okay.
Just for clarification, I think I already know the answer. This is all specific to the pool itself. It does not touch any of the piping problems we're having in the bathrooms or other parts of the facility.
No, just pool piping only. Be a good opportunity to address anything if it's in the area of construction,
You still need a drain in the locker, in this family room, right?
Yeah, but that we can do. That has nothing to do with the pool.
Right, no, I was, yeah. Just remembering.
Can I ask a quick question? It says approximately 3 feet perimeter. How would you negotiate between the warm pool and the other pool where there's only about a foot between?
we'd have to take that whole wall out of commission. This proposal actually accounts for redoing the gutter in the one pool as well. So if we left, just so you have two matching gutters and two matching elevations. Right, so,
Which would make that gutter a lot more safer. I mean, the little wall, because my guards shoot down that wall to make a rescue. And all of us have just about slipped and broken our backs or ankles on that stupid thing.
Mhm.
there's a lot of details to work out, and there's a lot of different ways to do it. There's different types of gutters. There's a gutter with a step down, like what's out there now. There's, like I said, a deck level pool where the water level is right at the deck.
Yeah.
Which is a lot more convenient and it looks a lot better, you know.
Just put the wide.
It essentially it modernizes the pool.
Yeah, it looks nice too.
Yeah.
Our local Y has them.
It adds some cost because I'm pretty sure you probably know more than me, but the filtration system is pretty close to
I think
what.
it's more velocity on the suction side of most filter area.
Okay, so if we're upgrading the piping, then we're okay
Pretty sure.
to go with a little more volume. So if we go to a perimeter, we lose that open space between where the deck is now and where the water is. And the water makes up that space, so it adds volume to the pool, which adds more filtration, more water needs to be moved for filtration, things like that. The way you handle that is either, bigger piping, and if the pump and filters have capacity, we just move more water, and the pool gets a little more volume of water in it. Or we raise the floor to match what we're doing with the water level at the gut. So there are a lot of little details. I'm kind of giving you the big picture. Here's what we can do. And during the design process is the time where we work everything out. We talk about what we do with pool depths, what we can do with, pool piping and what the equipment is that we have now, what we do with finishes, tile color, plaster color, type of grading, like all of that gets worked out in the design process. And then that design gets put out for bid in whichever way you want to do it,
Mhm.
We can break the plans up, we can say project A, project B. And those projects get put out for bid separately, or if, there's, grants, that we can go after, funds, things like that. And we can do one big project and then, it's put out for bid that way. My only request would be that if we are the design consultant for the project, that we're allowed to bid the project as well. Because I'm design build more than I am anything, so I don't want to. It's happened to me once before on a City of Portland project.
Oh.
When I was younger, where nobody told me, and
Oh.
it was supposed to be design build, and somebody stepped in after I did all the designs. Like,
Oh.
you can't build.
Oh, no.
So I always mention that.
Makes sense, yeah.
So that would be my only request, would be that if we do the design work, then we can do the construction work. If we can't do it that way, then what I would do is just make some recommendation to some other good consultants that can do the consulting work, and then allow us to bid competitively on the project would be the other option.
The type of gutter system, the perimeter one,
Yes.
where the pool level would be a little higher,
Mhm.
correct?
Yeah.
And isn't that better for competition if it's, the deeper?
It is,
I
yeah,
don't know if it makes a
like
difference, but.
the shallow end of the pool is 3 feet.
3.5.
Oh, 3.5, and then that one section that's 3, that's over on the south side, is that it? It's been a long time since we looked at this.
Yeah, and then the
Yeah.
one pool isn't it
3.5.
3.5 too?
Yeah,
It's all 3 now.
Yeah.
There's one section over by the lift chair that you're thinking of, that I think is 3, either that or the sun's wrong.
Ideally where your competition lanes are, you're 4 feet. At the shallows, that's ideal. Does it have to be that 3.5 feet, you can do a kick turn. But 4 feet is like any swim coach will, if you give them their options, they're gonna want 4 feet.
Because deeper water is faster.
Yeah.
Safer also.
So
For swimmer competition.
I do have a question. So moving the drains, are we talking about putting on the sidewall by the road? Sorry.
Yeah.
No. So south wall. Okay.
Mhm.
If in the future we were hoping to go to an 8-lane pool, is that, are we able to locate it anywhere else? Could it go on the other side of the pool or does it have to be?
It could go on the other side of the pool, the pool, it would just cost more to get it there.
Or
Um,
it would just go on the new south wall if we pushed out that way.
Well, something to think
Well, I
about,
don't know if we
if,
can do it all at once.
if you're going to an 8-lane pool, you're gonna excavate, and break up that area anyway. So you would just connect to the pipe and then reroute the pipe down to the bottom of the new area of the pool.
Yeah, I'm not saying we do that today, but I'm just wondering, could we what's the plan? Could we reuse?
Yeah, if you were gonna go that way and expand the
Yeah.
pool, I would have it right where we're proposing.
Okay,
But that, like, as a contractor, that's where I want it to be, because then I can connect onto it and make it a portion of the new pool.
because in my head, I question always the gutter work, because if we were gonna go to an 8-lane pool, is it better just to wait? I understand the safety issue with the piping, but could we wait on the gutters until we make that decision?
Could, yeah. Yeah, and I mean, you could repipe the pool as is. And rework the gutter as is, so new tile, waterproofing, new tile, new outlets for the gutter, new piping. Price wise. Renovating the gutter that's there is going to be the same price as the stands.
Could we live with what we have gutter work? Has to be.
You could live with it. I think the main concern is piping.
Well, you originally said that we could not break those apart, or could we get the piping, the most serious problem solved? And then come back to split into 3 projects
You're gonna tear out a lot of the piping that gets put in
to do the gutter.
to do the gutter. Yeah. Because in order to renovate the gutter that's there now, if we left that gutter in place, we'd have to go all the way around the pool with piping. If we're doing a stainless gutter, we only need to go to one connection point. We don't need to go all the way around the pool. The other issue with not doing the gutter is we don't get the return side. So then we either have to, on a pool this size, if we don't have a gutter return, Oregon Health Authority requires us to put all the returns on the floor. So we're cutting the floor off that.
Oh.
And putting all the piping on the floor. They will accept the perimeter overflow gutter with the return in it. So it's really more cost effective to do the gutter and the piping than it is just to do the piping.
That's what I was asking.
Because after you cut that floor up to put piping in, and routed all new piping through everything, your price tag wise, pretty close to the price of your stainless gutter.
That was exactly my question, could we do it in 3 parts, the prize at the end being an expanded pool? But that's the furthest away from the budget that we have at this point.
The stainless gutter, can be added on to. So that's something to consider, all you do is just weld more gutter on.
I
So,
guess in my head, though, we're taking that south wall to go to 8-lane.
yeah. So you could reuse portions of that gutter on the expanded pool. And then bring in whatever you need to expand outward, with lines.
To basically.
Yeah.
Blow through that.
Mhm.
And then, of course, we have all the issues with then where would people sit and all of that. I get it. It's not a short-term proposal.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you for answering.
Yeah, and I can answer, more questions if you guys, I'm sure there'll be more questions, things like that. So, I'll email Laura Lee and then, I got some business cards that I brought, enough for at least the board here.
Thank you.
Are you okay?
Sorry, Miss one.
What's that?
Maybe.
Oh, they're in the truck if they're not on me, so.
I missed
Okay.
one detail, Jason, on,
Yeah.
you were talking about the difference in time
Yes.
between the, doing the finishing without, and then without doing the finishing? What was that time for the non-finish?
The time if we didn't do the finish would be approximately a month and a half.
Okay.
Total. I'm gonna run out to the truck and I'll grab some cars over the back. I'd love to use it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah,
That's-
that's great.
Really sounds, exciting.
Yeah, and then I'll just send that PowerPoint out so you can see, it shows the process of the stainless steel gutter. It shows, just, it was mainly talking points for me is what it was, and then to show you guys how the stainless gutter works.
That'll help.
So,
That's nice.
yeah, it's good. I'll send that out and you can, look at the proposal and look at the PowerPoint and you'll see exactly what I'm
That'd
talking
be
about.
nice. And have you worked, you mentioned grants, have you worked with Main Drain grant pools safely? The government grant, the Virginia.
I think it's called Pool Safely and they hand out money for like drain mitigation stuff.
I haven't worked directly with them. I know about the program. but-
Yeah, Newport just did their, this is last year's. But is there anything you can contribute to the grant? There any-
Yeah, we can help with, applying the applications for grants,
That would be very
so
helpful.
through the state. They'll, most of the projects that get done are done with some form of grant.
Yeah.
In the state. So, yeah, we can help with grants, things like that, and I know that Joe knows quite a bit about things that can be done. To pull in extra money from places, emergency shelter, and like, there's lots of different provisions that will. That can bring money in.
That'd be helpful.
Thanks,
Thank
Jason.
you very
Yeah.
much.
Yeah, you're welcome. I'll run out to the car and grab business cards and then I'll just run back in and throw the corner one and interrupt you guys.
You're fine.
Thank you again for
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Appreciate
Good to
it.
see you. Thanks.
Fantastic.
All right, new business. Laura Lee, you are all about the new business
Okay,
tonight.
so, we have a veterans discount of 25%. That we let, veterans get off pool memberships, all of our passes. And there's been this idea, but I couldn't find anything really in writing. I couldn't find a resolution about it. But, Gus would say that back in the day that we would do free memberships for active duty. And so then, over the years, we've had people come in and say like they are active duty and they work down here at like the National Guard station in Lebanon. And they want a free pool pass. And so basically, I would like to, with the board's consideration, of course, but I would propose that we just offer the 25% discount for all veterans, military, whatever, just make everything streamlined. Because again, like, I don't know, and plus I don't want, like, shouldn't have to take copies of people's DD 214s and whatever, you know what I mean? Like, just
Just the standard
just,
across the board.
yeah, just, yeah.
By the way, I don't think that exists anymore because the city owns the armory now, so I think that's all.
Okay.
So at least we should see
Well,
less of that. And
yeah.
are you proposing only the veteran, not veteran family?
Thank you.
Well, I mean,
I'm just asking.
I mean,
Got
if if it's either the family or the person.
Well, that's why I'm asking, what's your vision? Just the veteran themselves, which is
Well,
what.
but I mean, like, if you're the head of your household and you're a veteran and you want to buy a family pass, then
Oh,
it's
yes,
gonna,
I
yeah,
can see
that's
that.
what
Yeah.
I'm saying.
Yeah, thank you. I just
Yeah.
trying to understand what you meant. Yeah,
So,
I think that's a good idea. I would agree. I never knew where that was documented. But have been told that with the creation of the pool, there was a World War II veterans, which as we know sadly are probably not our pool members at this point. And I think trying to manage who should be next is just too difficult. So I would agree 25%. I would support a
You
motion.
need a resolution.
No, I mean, I
or
think you
just a
guys can
motion?
just, yeah, make a motion and.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I would make
Just
a
put it in
motion
the
that
minutes.
a veteran's discount is 25%. Is it, so it's active military and any veteran?
any, yeah, whether you're currently
Yeah.
or whether you have served, just, yeah, any military,
How would,
past, present, current.
so I'd like to propose we discuss it, which we are. How do you wanna prove that?
Well, usually they come in and show me, their
Something.
ID, or they maybe show me.
Cause it's on their license if they're.
Yeah,
if they
sometimes
go
it's on
that
their
way.
license, or sometimes like if they're active duty, they have a
Sure.
military ID or whatever.
I think that's fine.
So-
I just didn't wanna give you another hurdle to have to jump over.
Yeah, no, it's fine. Then that way, we're not trying to track down some,
Right.
old policy that I'm not even sure how it was worded.
So do we just state in the motion that from this point on, the pool will offer a 25% discount to military
Yeah.
veterans?
Yeah,
Do we have an estimate of how many of our current pool members would fall in this category, and roughly how many you think you could hit up with per month?
well, I mean, I've had, in the last year, I've probably had maybe 3 people ask about what we do for veterans or what we do for active duty.
So it's
So-
really, really tiny.
Yeah, it's not very tiny. I mean, most of our people that are veterans that are older, I
Already
mean,
fall.
they're already on like, there's, silver sneakers. I mean, like my dad, he's a veteran.
Right.
And, my mom and dad have, silver sneakers or whatever, so,
Right. It
yeah,
kind of takes care of itself for anybody who's long term.
yeah.
So do we, this is all passes?
Yeah,
Pass
it's just
only.
for the passes. Yeah,
Okay.
the 3-month pass or the, the year pass, the couple pass, the single pass, just any passes.
And do we, to Jeremy's point, do we have anybody we need to grandfather in that has a free membership?
Well, they would I mean, if they already have it, then they already have it.
Well, for this year.
Right, are we gonna let them continue having a free membership? Or are we
Well, I
gonna
don't-
make them start paying?
I don't know if there is
I
any.
don't think we have anybody.
Okay. So it's not like we're gonna have 10 people that we have to.
No,
work
there,
around.
there is a widow of a World War II veteran that is currently using the pool.
Yeah.
But, I mean,
And
she's-
happy to allow. her to
yes, no,
continue.
I'm not
Yeah.
suggesting we go
Yeah,
back and make
exactly,
people
I'm
pay.
just saying.
Saying that the people now that are coming to the window and asking.
Yeah.
That, we basically say, yes, we have a 25% discount
And we
for
just don't,
all military.
okay,
I'm here for them.
Yeah.
yes, that's what I'm asking, because our memberships are general annual, but I'm sure there's 1 or 2 exceptions out there. Not Delbert.
I don't know what Dilbert's membership is. I haven't looked
I
at
don't
it,
think,
but I think we should.
what do you think? You're a veteran?
Yeah, which usually means I try to avoid, being in the middle of these discussions too much. But yeah, I think it's a great idea. I think that, supporting our military, which generally keeps us safe, especially active duty.
Yeah.
Usually I'd rather stay safe and not wake up with a bolt in my head.
Yeah.
So,
I think it's nice, it's good recognition, I think it's a decent discount, and it's a lot cleaner of a.
Well,
policy.
and what I would what I propose is that we just make a statement on the website. I think it says now veterans discount, but we just add another sentence or 2 that says, we honor
Just
all
clarify it,
military,
yeah.
come in, show your ID, whatever, and you can get a, 25% off.
Yeah, something in
a pass.
recognition of your service.
Yeah.
Whatever you.
I like that idea. I also think though that if people are just walking in, that it should be a standard question when they wanna buy a pass.
Oh,
From
we
the
do.
staff,
Yeah.
that it, so that if. We were someplace on Monday and there were a couple people who were veterans who swim and they mentioned that. They don't take the discount for the pass. Because they know that the pool can use the
Oh,
revenue,
that's nice.
so they can afford to pay for their passes and they're doing it like that.
Yeah.
But there are people who may walk in who don't know, didn't see the website, and so it's just nice to know that they're gonna be asked, right?
Yeah.
Unlike the awkward, would you senior discount question, which.
Yeah. Which we always ask that,
Yes.
but we can always make a little sign by the window too.
That would be nice.
Well, at least you asked. Darla and I went to Sizzler and they assumed and just gave it to us.
She was
So
very
I wasn't
offended.
sure if I wasn't sure how I felt about that.
Yeah.
Okay, so a motion, I'd like to propose a motion that military and veteran discount is offered at a 25% rate going forward.
Okay, do we have a second?
I'll second.
All right, Lori, all in favor?
I-
Aye.
All opposed?
We
I don't know if Mark ever showed up.
I'm sure. Mark-
Nobody's opposed.
Favor.
Mark wouldn't be opposed to anything.
Yeah.
So, okay, so that one passes. Next.
All right, so, showers. We, back years ago, we used to only charge $1 for showers. And then COVID hit and then we couldn't even have showers and that was a mess for several years. And then with all the cleaning and stuff, and we've had some serious, problems to have to clean after people that have come in to use showers. And so anyways, so then in the last couple of years, we just been charging the adult admission price. Well, the adult admission and like Osborne was doing that, I think Albany charges. So, you know, that was kind of the going rate. Well, I would like to propose that our new shower rate be our moms and minnows price, which basically is $3.75 right now. And then we just always follow that mom and minnow price because it's a little bit less than our adult. Plus, we're not trying to worry if you're in district or out of district because frankly, most of these folks that are taking advantage are houseless. And so they might be in Lebanon one week and they might be in Albany or whatever. So it's too hard to keep track of whether they're in or out of district. So that just to streamline everything and to make it a little bit more affordable. I'd like to propose that we just always have our policy be that it follows the moms and minnows price.
Kinder way to manage.
Yeah.
it.
It's still cheaper than $1, but not quite as expensive as $5.
I actually feel better without having the shower. I know that it has proved to be a lot of work or, you know, there's been side problems, but I do like this idea very much to charge less than full adult price.
Yeah.
Well, it seems like, if I remember what you said, that some of the agencies buy multiple passes at a time, so it gives a little bit of a discount there. And it keeps that number flat for us, so they're not trying to figure out in district, like you said,
Yeah.
how much is it? And, you know, I guess it also might detour if it's called a shower price versus just. I guess I could just see someone who has to pay for the full adult price, deciding that they are going to get into the pool. Gotta pay for the adult price for use of pool, you may as well get into the pool, right?
Right.
So that might not be the most sanitary place for them to rinse
Desired.
off, yep. So having a shower price makes it very specific to what you get to do here, and I like that idea.
Couple of questions. Have we noticed any difference in the level of effort it's taken since the towns implemented some of their cleanup policies?
What do you mean?
Just dealing with some of the overnight camping on the streets, they put various
Well,
policies in place.
I mean,
Has that
but-
affected us at all?
no, I mean, if it has, I have no
I
idea.
think it's more seasonal than anything.
I mean, we have people that come in and take showers almost every day.
Yeah.
At some point or
More in
another.
the summer, probably.
No, I don't
Maybe
know.
not.
I mean, it just, at least, you know, a couple times a week. Or if not every day, sometimes there's several in a day.
Yeah, there's a lady coming at lunch.
The other question I had was, would it be worth offering a bulk discount to something like a church? Say $3 a person if they were buying like
Yeah.
100 or something?
Yeah, I think if it were a significant enough number, that would be. something
Yeah, if you're getting like 100 at a time or whatever the amount would that be something worth?
I mean, I'll do whatever you guys wanna do, it's just, I mean, it's harder for my staff, like. I mean, cause we just have a button on the computer, you know.
I think it'd be on the purchase end though, so.
Well,
if-
but I'm saying if somebody comes at 5 o'clock tonight and I'm not here and they wanna buy 100 shower coupons, my staff will still ring them up, you know what I mean?
I think it-
I was thinking more in terms of incentivizing churches.
Well, I do too, and I
If
was
we could
thinking
actually
it'd be
generate
more of a,
additional
Laura,
income.
will get back to you, and then, we'll offer you a 25% discount if you buy in this quantity.
Yeah,
Is that not what Jackson Street Youth Shelter was?
I mean,
asked
all
in-
the different entities have come in and bought shower coupons over the time.
But when we
But-
talked with them, we spoke about the preference to have them supervise.
Yeah, that hasn't really happened, but again, like, I mean, I could have just a random patron come to lap swim and they create some kind of an issue in the locker room. Whether it's accidental or whatever, okay, so that happens, right? I mean, people have accidents. And so, I mean, there's really no difference whether it's a homeless person that comes in and takes a shower and they're perfectly respectful and they're in and out and they're clean and you don't even know they're there and they're super appreciative and
Good point.
and then there's people that come and they have a problem that we have to take care of. So, I mean. It,
Yeah.
I mean, if you wanna do a discount for, a bulk, I mean, you can do that.
Yeah, and I guess that's the best way to put it is
Just
not,
let me
not so
know how
much
much you
about
wanna do.
this, but. Just like veterans, just, I imagine that's what we're gonna talk about next with the school district. Maybe we just, and we don't have to do it tonight, but we establish a discount price for bulk purchases, so 100 plus purchases.
Okay,
And
well,
that-
I mean, just do it right now and then we're not.
Okay, then I would
dragging
say
this
that,
out.
I would propose that we offer 25% is too much. They were buying 100.
Well, what's 25% of 375? Who's super mathy right now? Chris,
Calculator.
Jim, I know you are, come on, Mr. Calculator.
150 and
I was just gonna say, no one pulled up their phone, but Joe did.
What's it?
$93.75 is 25% of 375.
No, $3.75.
Oh, three.
Oh, he did the whole
Alright.
thing. He
Yeah.
did 20, you did
Oh.
25% off 100.
What's 25% off $3.75?
Oh,
about $80 off.
It's about 94 cents,
94
94 cents per pass.
Round up to $3.
Okay, so.
That might be a smarter way to do it, right? Just like you
Okay,
said, just
so
charge
how about-
$2.
How about this? We say the shower price will be the Moms and Meadows price because,
For
in
individuals.
July, we're gonna raise our rates again probably. And
Right,
then it'll probably go up another quarter,
right.
okay? And so that's always gonna follow that. But if groups wanna purchase 100 or more, then they can get them for $3.
Yes, that's exactly
And
what I was
then-
aiming.
And
for.
that rate can stay the same, not go up with the Moms and Meadows. I like that idea.
Well, eventually it will have to, you know what I mean?
Right.
Because then we'll be right back to like having somebody come in for free, practically get in a shower.
Right.
That's the whole issue, is when we are only charging $1, that didn't make any sense, because even on a normal person, I mean, that's a bad choice of word, but you know what I mean, like, just anybody's gonna use more than $1 worth of soap, toilet paper, time,
Yeah.
Right.
so that, we don't wanna like go in the
Go
hole
backwards.
Right.
on.
I didn't think about them, they're not bringing in their own soap or toilet paper.
No, and half the time they bug me for towels, which we don't always have towels, but if we do have a towel, I give them one and I tell them, do not bring it back. Because I don't wanna be in the towel service, like, I end up having to do towels sometimes and,
Almost for
I-
somewhere we could tell churches, bring your own soap and
well,
towels and stuff.
no, that,
Cause
yeah.
they send people individually with a pass. That's
Yeah.
all they do. They just give
And
them to
then-
people.
Well, and
then,
we've been asked the same question about if group wants to buy youth passes and hand them out. So if we were selling 100 youth passes, then that's why I was looking for a percentage off, because that might
well,
not always be the same
when
price.
we do like school parties and stuff, where we do like these rentals for like the school kids and they'll bring like 100,
Mhm.
kids or whatever. We usually charge them just the Moms and Minnows price, because they're only here for an hour. And
So can we
that's
call
what
it
the moms
Moms,
and minnows.
Minnows and,
Well, it's
Both
just
pricing.
a accounting function for us.
yeah, I know.
So,
Would it be a good idea to have both pricing across the board on everything?
well, no, I don't think so. It's just, I'm saying they get a little bit of a discount. When we
Right.
do a big bulk, they're getting it for the 375 rather than the 425 that is the youth admission. So we are discounting it.
Just language, right? The hard part is how do you communicate to people if there's an opportunity there?
Well, like, again, this opportunity is only existing on these like private rentals and like, you know, so when they call up and say, hey, I'm Pioneer School, I wanna bring, 80 kids. Like, oh, well, we're gonna give you a break, so, yeah, so then they know.
So your human calculator figured it out, 20% of 375 is $3. So you could just do it
Yeah,
20%.
20% discount.
Yeah,
Okay,
Now, that all sounds really good, but is that our break even point on towels roughly?
Well-
Toilet paper,
the towels are, I mean, yeah, I mean, I don't wanna go back to $1 a shower. So I
a
think,
dollar shower, I'm pretty sure we're losing money significantly on that.
I think the 375 for anything below 100 and then the
Mhm.
$3 for 100 or more, I think
So how,
would be great.
how about, and you'll know that, but how about if in our materials, we say, well, discounts available in nicer words? If your group is, or if your group is interested in sponsorships, we have both discounts available for all options. Because if somebody came in and asked us for 100 adult memberships, we'd be happy to sell them to the daycare.
Well, and we've had that in the past too. It's just, it's
Yeah.
kind of one-offs. It's not,
But what I'm looking for are things we can go market. So once we establish this, then I would love to go to the ABC House sponsored group Booster Club, and say, hey, here's a really good thing you could do, go to the Oaks, here's a really nice thing for your membership.
yeah.
Go to the school district, here's a nice thing, here's a discount we can offer to everyone who works in the school district. And then that's where I'm
Yeah.
headed, right?
Yeah.
So, but we don't really have language today that supports that, so I can't.
Well, but
say
it's
that.
kind of hard to start discounting a lot of stuff when we're
Right.
a public agency.
Right,
Because, then it goes into like, well, it's not fair then for everybody. So we've got to be, that's
that's a good
where,
point.
that's where the whole, it was great on the initial board, when they became a district back in 2000, they wanted to give everybody who was on that original board free memberships. Okay, well, then the state was like, hold on, you can't do that. You're a public agency. What's good for the goose has to be good for the gander. I mean, so then you start doing all this horse trading and then pretty soon we're not transparent and pretty soon we're not being ethical. So that's why I'm kind of like,
But anyone could come and get it. If Darla wanted to buy 100
Well-
passes, she would get the 20%, so you are being fair.
well, not really, because not everybody's in the boat to be able to buy 100 passes or 100 shower coupons.
But they could. So that's the only thing you need to, they all just need to have equal opportunity, and they have equal opportunity to use the discount, the bulk discount. So. Whether it's an agency or an individual person, they can get the bulk discount if they buy the number of passes that are required.
Well, it would be a conversation to maybe have the lawyer reminisce
Yeah,
about,
that
but
would be
I
fine.
think we should probably decide what we're gonna do with the shower price.
I think the shower price that you're proposing.
Yeah, we should do that. I do like the long term. For me, I do like the idea of some sort of a formalized bulk
This, yeah,
bulk
that we can,
system.
maybe that, Laura, can be a follow-up item for all three of these. Because now we're offering a discount, military veterans discount, totally support that. We've got the shower price locked in. Now, how do we not have the same conversation about offering, and I know I pushed you for a school discount, but are we in the same boat because we're offering school employees a discount that we're not offering to everyone? Maybe we should table that.
Well, I would like to still propose my idea and then,
Yes,
Yeah,
we
for,
wanna
for
table it
tonight,
or
I'll
not.
make a motion that we start having the shower price follow the Mills price, which is currently set at $3.75, with the exception of a bulk discount, and we start that initial bulk discount at $3, and it will proportionally follow the Mills price at a discount rate.
All right, we have a motion. Do we have a second?
Have a second? I second.
Okay, and all in favor? Aye. There's no one to oppose, so those are just extra words. Okay.
And yeah, I definitely think we should.
All
see the
right,
marketing idea.
yeah, very good. All right, Laura Lee, third one.
Okay, so, Will Lewis is here with the school district, and thank you, Will, for coming. And anyways, there's, we're trying to, of course, market the pool and get the pool out there and get more users in the pool. And so I know the school district offers like money or whatever toward wellness initiatives. And so we wanted to make sure that, that they know that, hey, they can come and exercise and use the pool. And then the question was, well, what could they get a discount for being employees of the school district? And so that's basically what I'm proposing is that maybe we consider offering some kind of a discount for school employees. Any school employee, not just teachers, but any school employee could get a discount for buying a membership. Not like the individual, one-time admissions, but on the passes.
Passes.
Yeah,
I'm all for that.
because maybe it would, and they are our brothers right next to
We are right there.
Yes.
We used to get a lot of teachers, and I know I had said this to Will when we were at the budget meeting, and we just don't see it as much. And I did tell Orly, a friend of mine, from here from the pool, her husband just hired on, and he was told he could not use his wellness dollars for the pool, so we have a little bit of confusion about that. So is there a list of places you can use it?
Here's the deal, we have about 600 employees. All this grants about 15,000. So it's kind of long.
Yeah.
So just being realistic about that. So we gotta pick and choose as to what type of things we can help fund, but I'll facilitate all this staff.
Do they actually get to fill the pools?
I've not heard that, no, I think they didn't suggest anything.
Okay, that's
Yeah,
what we were
and we have a
curious
committee
about.
that they go through and we're open arms to any ideas,
Okay,
yeah, so,
good, then I'm gonna tell her that he should ask.
yeah, absolutely.
Do you like the idea of the
I think it would be helpful in inviting for long-term success, that 600 people, that's an opportunity for you.
Yep.
Just looking at it from that angle.
Good, and it's
For-
recognition
For revenue
for
generation.
their service too.
Yeah, yeah.
It's definitely a community service.
And this is wellness, isn't it?
oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
So what discount are we proposing?
Well, before we do that, I like the idea, but I want to play devil's advocate here for a second. What is our argument for providing it for teachers? Is it because we're in this building? If we're providing it for teachers, why not all first responders, police,
We talked
firefighters?
about
Where,
that.
how far are we planning on extending this, or is this one specially because we have a personal relationship with the school district? What's the reasoning behind this that we're trying to use?
This literally was me saying, how could we be so close to the school district and not see enough of not see them in our pool, but we
It's
did
a
have
reasonable
the same,
argument.
we had the same conversation. If we're recognizing, along with military and veterans we talked about, should that be
The
first
veteran was pretty
responders
standard nationwide. First responders, a little bit less so, but still there.
still there? Yeah.
Teachers are much less so, they're still there. But for us, it's a special deal because of our relationship here in the building.
For me, that's a big part of it, but coupled with the other part that it is, I'd like to do something that honors teachers, educators. We could go on at some point if we want to think on first responders, but right now it's about the educators or the school. And this pool is named kind of after the school. Um, well, not exactly, but it's very, very tied to the school, and I just think that, there is a relationship there. There, we share the building, we share, all the interaction, the lessons, and the kids that use the pool, I mean, from high school classes and all the third graders, there's a big relationship with the schools. And I think that it deserves the discount we're talking about.
The only thing about what you said, though, I don't disagree with you, is I think you can't use the word educators. I think this has to be very specific to the Lebanon School District, or the college is gonna show up. Sweet Home people, teachers are gonna show up,
sure.
Brownsville teachers are gonna show up, all the educators.
Lebanon
So-
Community School educators and
Well,
staff.
district, right?
Yeah,
Because
the
it's the bus
district.
drivers, it's the janitors, it's everybody
Yes.
who works for the school
Including the
district.
contract.
I just think we have to be,
Hallelujah
yes,
to
I
that.
just think though, we have to be real specific in our language
Sure.
so that we don't have random people mad at us
Yeah.
because they came and said, oh, well, I'm a teacher, I should get a discount. And it doesn't work that way.
And I truly believe first responders fit in here somehow. It's just, I don't think we're very, I think we need a conversation about who that is.
Yes.
It's easy when it's fire department, police, but is that it?
No, I agree. I just want to make sure that our reasoning behind this is
Yeah.
specifically because
There
our
is an
relationship
existing
is, we're in their
relationship.
building, and so like Kim said, let's restrict this specifically to the people we have this relationship with.
Yeah.
But it becomes more prestigious to work in our local school district.
Yes. There you go.
And,
It's a special
you're
day.
absolutely right, yes.
I like the term, but I just think we have to be specific in this instance because we do have the college and we have towns without pools that are very near to us, so.
I think 20 or 25% to answer. your question.
What is the ticket price currently?
Well, a family pass is 485 if you live in the district. And then they just go down from there.
But do you think centering on the idea of maybe starting to circle around the idea of a 20% being the standard discount we're offering whenever we do this kind of stuff?
Well, if we hadn't just voted on 25% for military, I'd say yes, maybe we let that one stand out. 20% in general, except for military. I don't want to make it harder for you.
I mean, whatever you guys wanna do, I just think it would be a really cool thing.
I do too.
Or which number do you think would be better? We've done 20, 25, which,
I'd like 25.
Okay.
What with the 20 was having to do with showers and bulk.
With bulk,
This is.
right. Bulk.
This
Yeah, and
is,
I just want to make it easy, so we don't have to teach people 5 different ways to do this, so I would agree on the 25%.
well, then I move
As long as Jim agrees.
that we offer 25% discount for all Lebanon Community School District employees.
Employees. Okay, so we have a motion. Do we have a second? We have a second. Carla's a second. All in favor?
Aye.
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 I'm gonna abstain on this one. Just haven't really thought it through enough.
But still passes.
It still
It still
passes.
passes.
Yep. All right.
One of the awkward things about this format is we do a lot of back and forth conversation, which might be comical. But this is our only opportunity to work together unless we have working sessions.
Right.
So that's something we should all think about. For topics that need more conversation, if we do a working session.
Right, so that we
everything
can
doesn't have to
expand.
Get dragged
Yes.
through all the details.
All right, we have an oral comment request from Mr. Joe.
All right, so thank you for, I'm coming tonight as the coach of the high school swim team. So just give you a very brief update about our season. It's been my first year coaching. And it's been a pleasure to kind of get back to lead the team that I grew up with swimming and helped over a lot of course of my life, personally and professionally. Having a great season. We're down to 22 kids out across both the boys and girls teams. We just had a meeting in Albany last night, which was one, which brings us to 4-2 in our league competition record. So we got 2
Good,
more
great.
league meets. And my main goal purpose tonight was to invite the entire board to come to our senior night on February 4th. So we're having a dual meet here against Crescent Valley High School. And I am shaking down every person I know that has any connection to swimming and try to build a building up for our seniors. So that's where I'm here tonight to ask you guys to consider attending or talking to people to build this building up for our seniors. Just under 2 short weeks.
So what time, what's the
The meet
time?
starts at 4 o'clock.
4 o'clock?
February 4th.
February
Yeah.
4th, that's Tuesday.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
Yes.
We have 3 seniors this year and they've been working really hard. I'd like to see them get the recognition they deserve.
That would be fun.
For those of us who do work full-time jobs, how long is this meeting? Is it gonna go by 5, 6, 7, 8?
Be over by 6 o'clock. Their high school dual meets are awesome because they're short to the point.
Jeremy, for you that work full-time jobs, the meet starts at 4, but the recognition for them will probably be 4:30 or 5.
Okay. that's
So
good.
if you get off work at 4 and you can cruise here, you'll still see the recognition. You'll still be able to stand up for our seniors.
And to see what we've got going on. Yeah. So just you might not have a seat.
It's been
Oh,
Crescent.
That was the plan, right?
It's not very good.
Bring a lawn chair.
Wouldn't you know they're
Thank
anchored
you.
by,
Really good,
what's that?
really good.
I-
So I.
All right, thank you, Joe. Anyone else? Nobody else filled out a form. Does anyone else have anything to say? All right. Moving on, treasurer report. Jeremy and Laura Lee, who's going first? Or do you,
I
you
suspect
still-
Laura's gonna hit with 2 items. I was just gonna bring up what she normally does, that this is our 2nd big month of taxes coming in, so it looks pretty good. And the swim club is better than normal months.
Yeah,
Those are the-
yeah, wait till you see January's financials. Yeah, the swim club had their big, January invite last weekend. And it was the 2nd highest grossing meet we've had in 11 years. They netted $4,500 after expenses.
Good.
Yeah, and
Awesome.
I just couldn't believe it, cause
What?
like on Monday, the meet was on a Saturday, Sunday, and on Monday, I'm doing the money, right? And there's just this wad of cash in the safe. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, and I'm like doing the numbers and I'm like, I did it over and over several times, cause I'm like, this can't, I'm gotta be missing something, like, a good meet in the past was like if we made $2,500. And it was like everywhere I was adding and subtracting, it's like over $4,000. And Christina, the head coach, had left and to run an errand and had come back to the pool to drop something off. And I stopped her in the lobby and I'm like, hey, I go, guess how much we made at the meet? And we talked about it earlier in the morning and she's like, $2,000, cause I told her that, well, about $2,000, maybe 3,000 if we're really lucky. And I'm like, no. And she's like, more. And I'm like, yeah, this is like 44 or whatever. And she's like, oh my gosh. Yeah, so it was really good.
What was the attendance?
Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing to make your meet successful, well, one, you keep your costs low, right? You get everything donated as far as like concession stand wise and whatever. And then you basically fill the building with visiting teams, right, with swimmers. And they had 180, was it 188? 188. It was 183, 184 swimmers. So like a 200 swimmer meet that's kind of like the goal. Like we want to hit 200. Well, in the past, I mean, we've had like 125 or 150 which is good, but anytime you can push that 200, you're gonna make money. So, yeah, so it was good.
job.
And we do have expenses, like we have to have porta potties trucked in, and then because USA Swimming has the guideline that nobody can use locker rooms that the athletes use. So, and that's our main bathrooms, is
For the
in the
public.
locker rooms, yeah. Well, coaches, officials,
Oh,
no, just the athletes. Well, my guards, of course, because, they gotta refill toilet paper and they gotta respond to emergencies. But they're the only ones. And so then everybody else who's here for the meet, working or watching, you're going outside. So anyways, and so that's expensive, costs us like, well, $350-450 to rent porta potties. So, but yeah, they did fantastic. But do you want to bring up anything else? Cause I was
Nope,
gonna
those are
bring
the
up.
two that jumped out at me.
Okay, well, I have December financials and the couple things that I wanted to point out.
Can I ask, were we doing the audit next month?
Next month.
Next.
Yes, and Corey did confirm that she'll be here for February to go over the audit.
Okay.
Okay,
Just before you jump, I'm sorry to interrupt you. From the swim meet point of view, have we approached Osborne? What are they called, CAT? The Corvallis Aquatic.
well, they're all over the place.
They are, I heard they're swimming in Sweet Home, so I
Well,
was like, if it's
yeah.
running right past us, aren't we?
Yeah, but it would be like super late at night, probably. That would be the only time we could let them in. And I know, like, well, okay, so a little sidebar, we did host their duel, Corvallis CV
Oh, okay.
duel was last night here at Lebanon.
That's what
And
I
it
know
was
they're
great. They-
searching for space.
Yeah, and Judy, who's the high school coach for Corvallis, she told me they're practicing at Philomath
Yeah.
from, what'd she say, 7 to 9:30
Yeah,
at night.
it's late.
Yeah, because that's the only time they can get the water.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I heard that they're just all over the place. They're going up to Dallas, they're trying
Yeah.
going
Yeah.
into Newburgh. So I just wondered if we,
yeah,
and we
I,
didn't get any lifeguards from them either,
no,
because you could think with a 2-year shutdown, somebody.
no, but Corvallis and Philomath and Albany are closer, so
Right.
why would you want
So
to
they
come all
got
the way
it.
to
Well,
Lebanon?
I was surprised they're going to Sweet Home. That's
And,
what made
and
me ask.
Albany's trying to like grab guards off, I mean, I
Yeah.
say that tongue in cheek. Just because they're trying to put on all these like districts and stuff, and they reached out to me because they're really having a hard time staffing all of these meets. And so like Rose and I were half thinking about guarding districts, which I would need your approval to get a second job, because I would have to be hired by Albany, but it would just be to lifeguard districts. So, but anyways, that's a.
Yeah, Rose.
We don't need to talk about this right that second, but. Anyways, I did want to bring up a couple things on the financials. So the balance sheet. If you looked, you guys were all given this. I did
Yes,
not
I know.
print off here's a couple copies of the balance sheet. But our total assets for end of December was 878,000 and change. And last year, December 2023, we were 842,000 and change.
Mhm.
So our assets are up from last year over $36,000. Okay, then our liabilities, if you go down, total liabilities, now that's like all the stuff we had to pay for in December, right? Like payroll and all that stuff. Well, our total liabilities for 2024 was 97,271. Well, last year, our liabilities were 134,300, okay? So we spent a lot more last December than we did this December. But, okay, so that's what I wanted to point out on the balance sheet. And then if you look at the profit and loss budget report, actually, I'm gonna look at the December one. I highlighted a couple things, which Jeremy touched on, property taxes. So right now, for December, we brought in 137,319 and change in property tax. Last year, we brought in 106,967. So we're up 30 grand in property tax. already, and it's still gonna be trickling in, right, until, next October. And so, yeah,
Which is great.
it's fantastic, and we're up on our delinquent. Okay, last year we got $502 in, this year we got almost 800 in delinquent taxes. Okay, then our youth splash admissions, well, our total admissions for December was 10,300 and change. Last year it was 7,649. So we're up almost 2,700 in our admissions. And then our total programs, last December, we brought in just over $10,000. This year, we almost hit 14,000. And December's that weird kind of month because we're closed for a few days with Christmas and New Year's and all that, or not New Year's,
Yeah, I was
but
gonna ask you about that one.
Christmas
How do we
and
manage
and
that?
Christmas Eve. So, so that is fantastic. Then on the expense side, our building maintenance, last November, we spent over $7,300. And this December, we only spent 605 in our building maintenance. Okay, and then the other things that are less are total materials and services, which is like pretty much that bucket of all the stuff, right? The stuff that we buy. We spent 14,000 and change. Last year, we spent 26,000 and change. So that's way less. Our PERS, right? PERS is always that nebulous black hole surrounded by an enigma, right? This December, we only spent 6245 on PERS. Last December, we spent over 9,000 on PERS. So that's less. And there, anecdotally, there's a couple things as why, but then our part-time temporary is a little bit less than we spent last December. And anyways, so it's just, our revenue is up considerably and our expenses are down
That's
considerably.
exactly what we want.
And
Even though we can't always predict.
And then just to finish this off, our net income for December this year was plus 98,000, just over 98,000. Last year, it was just under 46,000.
Extraordinary.
Yeah, but now going back to the balance sheet, I want to touch on something here. So if you look at the top of the page, it says our PEP fund is 158,332. The reserve fund is 172,000 and change. Then we have money hanging out in the Oregon LGIP. That's almost 230,000. So that total right now is 560,899, right? It's almost 561,000.
Yeah.
Okay, now that's not including the 210,000 that we have in the money market in the People's Bank and the money that's sitting in the general fund checking account right now. Okay, so, and the swim club has about 20 grand sitting in there right now. So there's about 300 actual 300,000 thereabouts of money. So like, guys, we are pretty close to coming up with that 500,000 or more so that we really could make this renovation a reality. And if you remember that, we'd gotten a quote to do to put new vinyl liners in the pool and to do the gutter system.
Yeah.
And that budget number had come in over $1 million, right?
Mhm.
And so to get some budget numbers that were like, 750 to 850,000, that is a lot easier to swallow than 1.2 million, right?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
the fact that like right now today, I wouldn't recommend it. Okay, hear me. I'm not saying we do this right this second, but if we decided to, you know what, let's really like cut close to the bone and take that 560,000 and put it toward, this renovation. Then if we're only at say 750, 800,000, then that's not like another $500,000 loan. That's maybe $300,000+ loan. And we're close. The other thing is if we really can go after the marketing, yes, but if we can really go after donors and find people
Yes.
like saying, hey, we're close, we are close to this $500,000 goal.
It makes us a lot more credible.
Well, yeah, and then plus it's gonna open up that money that we were already approved with the Ford Family Foundation,
Right.
the 25,000. And I did download the pool safely grant
Oh, good.
to, yeah, I mean, I've got a couple of grants kind of in process that I'm gonna try and go after, but. I mean, you guys, we are so
We're gonna
close.
get
We
there.
are, yes.
You're
and
gonna
If
get
we
there.
really are very
goal
close.
to like go after, like to really go after more donations. And get another 300,000, I mean, we're talking, we're doing it, guys.
So we have the list, don't we, of potential donors?
Oh, yeah.
It was put together.
Anytime somebody donates, I had somebody hand me a check on December 31st for $1,000. And it went right into PEP. Anytime I get money, it goes right into PEP, which means that it's restricted. I mean, we
Right.
can't use it on personnel or whatever.
But
Yeah.
didn't we have a working list of potential donors and people who had been?
Well, I mean, I have a list of who all donated year to date or to date, but really anybody is a potential donor.
I just thought we had a working list from Larry.
I mean,
Not,
Okay,
I've,
so we only have.
there
who's
is-
donated.
there is.
Anyways.
something- Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
basically
No,
what I
no,
wanted
it's
to
just,
say.
I totally agree with what you're saying.
We're
and I would-
close. I
Yeah.
can feel it, or I don't know if I can feel it yet, but I can see the light at the end of the tunnel. How's that? Okay, and then, the other couple things I wanted to mention was, so we just finished 2 weeks of third grade lessons, and there's these great thank you cards right out here.
They are great.
And yeah, it was so fun, and they were, Sand Ridge, which, I mean, okay, my grade school kids went to Sand Ridge back in the day, but those kids are so well behaved and they have so much fun. And it was a blast. It was so fun. So we just finished that. We have a week reprieve this week, and then we'll have another batch of third graders in next week. And they do like 2-week sessions. And then also, Rose put together a member appreciation thing, and it's in the lobby display case.
That's really.
And we kind of interviewed the top attendance person that uses the pool. And we asked her like a couple questions, like, why do you use the pool? You know what? And she had some great answers. So please, and she believes in Bigfoot. That was my question I asked her. Anyways, so it was really fun, but she has come like 580 sometimes. And I'm like, wait a minute, hold on. We're not open 365 days a year. How is that possible? Well, she comes twice a day, some days. So anyways, we're trying to touch on, but there's a whole list of about 25 names
Nice.
and how many times they've come. So, we're trying to do some member appreciation stuff. Also, we had the health inspector come this last week. And he always tells me, he's been doing our pool, this person, Nate, for several years. And he's great. And he's like, literally, he goes, I always come to your pool first. Because it's slam dunk. Every time I come here, the water is crystal, everything's always perfect, like, and so he's like, I always come here first. And so that's just nice. So anyways, and there are some new ORSs, Oregon Administrative Rules regarding pool and the health department and that's coming down. And it's probably not, it's not gonna affect us too much on the mechanical side, but I think there's some changes that we are gonna need to make down the road, on the like the guards and stuff like that. So, but I'll have more on that to come. I'm just letting you know it's gonna be out there. And then, also we have a lifeguard in service Saturday, tomorrow, or not tomorrow, but this Saturday from 8 to 10. And then there's gonna be a big wrestling tournament. I think it's a club wrestling tournament, and they literally overtake the whole place. So we're gonna close on Saturday and not gonna be open. Just because it's a zoo and parking's always an issue. And we had to close in December because same sort of thing came up, but we don't have anything scheduled we have no parties for Saturday. We have a party for Sunday, but Sunday late afternoon, the wrestling thing will be over, so.
This Saturday.
This Saturday. We have signs up. It's already on the website.
Okay.
Yeah. And then, let's see, and then also, I was just gonna mention that the swim club had their big meet, which was a big success. They have another meet coming up in May, and they're hoping to have another big turnout. And so, if they can pocket another $4,500 dollars out will be really good.
That would be.
Will really help their bottom line, so. That's what I had for the,
A lot of info.
my report.
Fantastic.
So I have one comment, and somewhere along here is board comments. We lack a way to share documents, as Jason pointed out to us. And I had been looking, I think I sent you, what if we put up a display and wireless keyboard, and mouse, we could do a better job, we could be speaking to the Zoom participants, or whatever we're using. So I'd like to put that out there. I don't know that we need to solve it tonight, but I would like to see us step up. It would not be a big dollar point. We could probably even find a dollar for something that level. But I know Rose had mentioned that there is a big screen somewhere that you use for training.
No, we just use a TV screen.
Oh, that's what she meant.
But
Okay. I'm
No,
talking
that one's
about-
broke. The one we use is actually in there.
That must be, because you pointed at the closet, but I was thinking if we, and not to rearrange everything, but if we put a screen here. We would be speaking to the screen, people would be interacting, and we could display documents to the home audience as well as people here, maybe put the audience here so they could see also.
Yeah,
So just something to think about.
I've thought about seeing what it would cost. Maybe Will knows. What does it cost to rent the travel station? I mean, do you guys get kind of a break to use that for the
I'm sure
school?
That's available going forward.
Yeah,
We're moving out there soon. We had to deal with the city all the time.
yeah,
You take back the trains.
yeah.
Because they're renting, aren't they turning it over to Franklin?
They are,
I don't think it's gonna be public, so,
it would be a short-term solution. Right?
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah, just this room is so small
I
and,
agree.
you know, but
The library is $25. I had asked about whether they would donate to us because, but the answer was no. But we could maybe keep asking.
They do make cheap projectors. You can
Yes.
plug in laptops. I
yeah,
mean, short walls here, you might get bright enough, but it's out there, less than $100, those types of
Yeah.
items.
Yeah, none of it's a very expensive point of view, but making the room bigger is the problem.
yeah.
Right.
Okay, Laura Lee, did you have facility and staff
I mean, it was just,
all part of what
All-
you just did?
yeah, everything that I,
All right, do we have any other director comments? Nope,
This time.
okay,
I move,
there we go.
we conclude and adjourn.
Do you have a second? They're racing to second, just pick one. All in favor of adjourning? Aye. All right,
Thank you, this was nice. And really good news about the rebel. Thank you.
yeah.
Joe. Is there any, is there a charge to get
One thing
anybody?
I've been paying attention to is the, as you said, normally would be about.
There's some extra business cards if anybody wants one for the.
One of the things that's happening is all these new homes are coming off of building. You know, the first year they only pay like $1,000 or something.
Yeah.
They're gonna go to their actual.
That's gone pretty well.
assessed value.
Yeah.
We're gonna see a pretty good size bump.
Well, is that okay for you?
Oh,
Yeah, I think, I don't know how Joe look at it, but.
There we go.
And
He's like writing, screaming from the building.
Based on how much you were typing, I think. So,
I like the idea of
No,
doing
you
some
didn't
more
have
big.
to type what you were saying, you didn't have to pay attention, you can't do those two things at the same time, that's the problem.
I apologize now, I didn't keep up with your numbers, you're quite fast on it.
Oh, yeah, well,
Yeah.
if you can,
You can have.
or I can, if you send it to me, I can always add the.
Okay,
Or you-
that's where I was starting to lose traction with the, you're moving rapidly through all the great news, because you're excited, and,
Well, that-
I don't normally think that budget number's gonna be in there, cause. Because a lot of the budget is public.
Okay.
Can be public.
I was trying to keep as much detail as I could.
Here's
Yeah.
basically the
Yeah.
balance sheet number, and then
No.
So it would just be.
Yes.
As far as
other, like,
I know
the
there's the fundraising committee, I don't think you were.
Like the total-
Because they're,
compared to the.
no, I volunteered to
And
be
then
on,
our-
so we don't have
Stuff on
conflict.
Oh, were you not here when we solved that?
No, I just wanna make sure that.
Was that number this year
from
versus
that
the
point.
45?
Oh, you're much better at the bond, both of you are much better at the fundraising stuff than I am.
You are good.
Oh.
I was.
And there,
Yeah, I try to highlight all the things you were saying at least, like.
Yeah, I wanna go home and run some numbers, cause Laurel's right, I mean, we're at something that finally feels doable.
We're getting some traction.
So like, this is the minutes
Well,
from
no, that's what I was saying,
December.
I think.
So basically, I would email you
to see a box, there's a lot of things.
I created it,
Yeah, it's a big thing.
and
They're running out of their first year
you just
where they
type
just pay
under
last
the-
out.
Next year, you mean?
I try to.
I didn't really see much, I don't think I saw much of a bump this year.
I was confused there at the end on,
Because the new houses on
when you get the
Frankfurt,
director's reports to.
those are settling, so they get the developer gets that first year at land value, but then a couple of them are now at assessed value. So we'll go from getting,
Anyways, I wanna.
you know, a small amount of $1,000. $500,000.
Yeah, I'm wondering if we can pull this whole thing off and maybe take a loan for like 200 grand.
That's exactly where I'm at, yeah. I mean, the property taxes will continue to go up. I'm just saying, I think we'll see a spike as a lot of these properties were built at the same time, occupied at the same time. But if we could just keep this amount of traction, I think the loan is better than this levy or anything else.
Well, our current loan, I think, had 3 years left on it, maybe 2 now, I have to double check that.
Yeah, it's got $41,000.
Right.
And it's $6,000.
Three. 3,000 dollars a month, I think. For the sure.
Thank you.
I'm being rude, I'm so sorry.
No, it's just like you.
The very last page in this thing,
The best.
yeah,
Like my font.
3,400.
Yeah,
Well, I like
that's my favorite.
All the rest of us.
I think
so
mine's
plain.
Arial.
And I think yours is probably older, right? So.
Yes,
Yours
it
That's
is.
like the comic Sam.
I know, I like that. I like your stuff back.
So I would like to see us meet more often, and I know we're outside the meeting right now, so we're talking about this idea. But somewhere where we're not fishing through every idea, fleshing it completely out. you know.
Yeah.
But,
Well, we've been talking about doing a retreat, right?
yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it would be a full day thing. I know your favorite thing, a full day meeting.
Yeah, or a couple of half days, but it may be just at the hospital. They rent the rooms around the garden pretty cheap, but it is another place we could meet. I don't think, they might even donate. But just to talk about some of
Thanks
this
for
stuff,
doing
we
it.
have to almost have a pre-meeting to set up.
Right.
Thanks for coming.
Right.
Thank you.
Ross, thank you so much.
Oh, wow, that is
For
beautiful.
putting up with my.
Oh, no, it's all in bullet form.
That's the best, right? Cause it's easy to do bullet form.
And I will tell her, help.
Laurel, would it be easier for you if you just take this laptop, or should I keep emailing it to you?
I'm late. See
I
you
can
later.
care.
Bye-bye.
I can just, if you save it like on the desktop,
Yeah, it's saved in the documents folder.
okay. Cause I can always have Jim find it.
Well, I can email it to myself if that's easier and just keep doing what I've been doing.
Oh, I mean, it's fine. I can get it. I got cakes I was gonna bring in for you,
Oh.
and I left them on the table. Oh my
You
gosh,
guys are like next door to each
Oh, there it is,
other,
right there.
aren't you?
close.
Yeah, same neighbor.
Okay, so Laura Lee, it's in the
So-
documents folder with the meeting date on it and meeting notes. I've been
Okay.
saving each one in there.
Okay, oh, okay, perfect.
But then I've just been emailing this to myself and email it to you, so I'll cut out the email portion if it's not too difficult for you to
Yeah,
get
I
out
just wanted to
here.
be.
Yeah.
If that doesn't end up working out, then I can very easily just return to emailing it to myself.